So 10 years later, they're finally updating it, and it's a necessary update. But yeah, it's just weird how many releases it's getting.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the Collecting Brothers. I'm John, and this is Josh. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to do some weekly news roundup for you from the action figure world. Let's go ahead and jump into McFarlane Toys. Kind of a bigger week from them, for sure. Just to kind of quickly they have a new edition here, but we've seen these figures before. We got the Dark Knight all battered up, right? And then we got the Green Lanterns with the 4 different heads or the 3 different heads. Can't remember which one it is. Just
Yeah.
amazing Green Lantern to fill out your corpse. But this is a newer one here. We're getting a Huntress, which from the new 52. I do dig this Huntress, man. Huntress, I love her color scheme. It's a cool vibe. But with it being the collector's edition, Todd's giving us that soft goods cape, dude. Wired and hemmed.
Wired, hemmed, and double layered, so it's not no thin a piece of crap, And I think the face sculpts just came out really well, and the paint apps, everything like that. White, usually, oftentimes, like you get kind of like some spillage or spray. I mean, this is the promotional image, but
That's
still,
true. Yeah, but yeah, no, it should be good. I'm excited about this one. The Mayfix Huntress is an amazing figure. This is just a different price point, different scale.
yeah. It also doesn't sip on like that one too much because that's Hush and this new 52, so
right, 2 different versions. Yeah, I do dig it though. I do dig this. All right, let's get into it. So, McFarlane Toys, they recently announced that they had gotten back the Walking Dead license. And, me and Josh were kind of speculating. I don't know what episode that was. It was a while back where they announced it, but we were speculating. Is he going to continue the line that he was already doing? Is he going to give us more statues, right? The bigger statues that he was doing? Or is he going to go into the 7-inch world? Well, here we have Daryl Dixon, and they will be the 5-inch scale. So he is continuing the previous line. Waves, the series, yeah.
Which is kind of good. I actually like this. I would have liked either one. I think if we got the 7-inch, it would be fine. But also, it's cool just to get these because, from I think like a nostalgia standpoint, when you've been collecting for so long, and like when I saw these, I was like, because I have a couple of these 5-inch Walking Dead figures that he's released, that came, and like just seeing that joint, you see like the waist joint where the pins are visible, right? And it's respectable because these are a smaller scale. So it's like these are smaller scale at a cheaper price point.
Yeah,
so
$20. Like $20.
Yeah. Oh, $20, really?
$20.
If I remember correctly, I think these were like 15, 16. Well, that's inflation.
Inflation.
That's inflation for you. Hey, actually, inflation we're looking at
right now it is.
We're looking good. But yeah, it's just cool to see these, and I love that he's kind of doing the first season, because when he was making this line, it was kind of well into the series.
They were made it to seasons. Prison. They made it.
Yeah,
and so Alexandria, like it was in it.
Right. Because season 3 and 4 is like when it was its peak, and so that's when kind of everyone was like, oh my gosh, let's make merchandise, we can profit off of this. And so we kind of never really got the first seasons of these characters. We kind of got seasons 3 and 4 of them, and so it's cool now to finally get these editions.
And I did go back and I did find the old figures. Now, yeah, this line was alive in 2011, the early 2000s, early 2010s. Here is that version. And this one was actually a pack that came with his bike, his chopper, which is really cool.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I always wanted that. I remember always checking on Amazon if it would ever go on sale. I remember it went on sale, but I just didn't have enough money. It was like $30 for the chopper and barrel. Yeah, man.
So it to me, looking at it, what I'm noticing, just me, is that the paint apps seem to be a little bit higher. There's just more dirtiness to it. It looks like a wash and some like dry brushing as well on the pants and the shirt and the denim compared to that first release. So they might be using the same molds, but definitely different paint apps on these figures.
I'll tell you right now, go back to the first one. Go back to the second one. I mean, if you look though, the shoulders look different.
Okay.
They look differently set, and the vest seems different. Like, to me, this vest almost looks like it's like pliable, and then the other one the other one is still pliable. I don't know. I feel like there definitely is some reuse like within the legs, but I feel like something
There
is
might be
different
some new
about
pieces. Yeah.
the shoulders, because look how high up the shoulders are on the first edition, and the new one the shoulders are more set in, and the vest is like popping up on the first one.
Yeah, it does seem to hug him a little bit more on the newer ones. Yeah, but yeah, there he is. This one's going to come with his crossbow, of course. How could you have Daryl without his crossbow? And of course, he also has his angel wings on his vest, right? But yeah, and there's the packaging. They're going to redo the packaging as well. You know, this when I saw the packaging, I was like, man, I remember these in the stores.
Yeah, they came in those blister packs. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the back of it as well, just giving you a little Daryl with the zombie there.
And shout out to the McFarlane Toys team for doing that package. Like, you know, sometimes like I kind of harp on like making square boxes, but I think they went really creative, and I actually think it adds a lot to the figure, just having those like bitten out pieces. Right. It's really cool.
The distressed, all ripped apart. Yeah, I do. And then we got Rick Grimes here. We got Ricky Grimes. Carl.
Yeah, see, I have this figure. Yeah, so these are actually kind of like re-releases, kind of in a way.
Yeah, and so this one I did include again the original ones that were getting released there. This is like a bloodier version of him in that outfit. Now, one thing I am noticing though is the head sculpt on this one does look a lot better than this one. But that could, maybe it's photography, lighting. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think?
For sure does, but I also think like I don't know, with these figures, the painting actually varied a lot. Like they were very heavy on washes, and they didn't all look similar like in like factory. But yeah, you're right. This face sculpt looks way better than the newer one. This one looks more matte, like it's almost too matte some with it.
Yeah. He comes with his old revolver, the machete, and an AK-47. Looks good, man. I was a bit. We were both right, Walking Dead fans, man. So it is fun to kind of jump back into this world with the toys, or talking about the toys. Makes me want to start it back up, not pick up where I left off. But I need
to watch it. I need to start it again too. I've only seen it once through, so I would love to restart it. Yeah,
it's a good show, man. It is a good show. But yeah, same keeping the same motif with the packaging and the back of it as well. And we're also getting Merle Dixon as well. And this is the closest one I could find in the archives of the old Merle. It's different colored shirt here.
Yeah, there's different seasons.
Yeah. That's the closest I could find. But he comes with his, chopped off hand, his pistol, and then it looks like an M16 type of military rifle as well. Yeah, Merle packaging. I do like this back shot. This is a good shot. Just need the governor running around somewhere, right? But to round out the wave, though, they're also giving us Michonne, and here is the earlier version of Michonne that I could find here.
That figure was so good, though. Actually,
was it?
It was a good figure, man.
Okay. Well,
it sucks that this one doesn't come with the poncho, because I remember the poncho was kind of what made that original figure so cool and to play with. So that definitely is a bummer.
And her dead walkers, right? The jawless walkers.
Yeah, McFarlane actually did a 3-pack of that. Do you remember that?
Oh, nice. Yeah. I think I saw it in the archive.
So yeah, like it was like there was the single release, and then they did like a deluxe, like with Daryl, and it came with the chains and the 2 walkers with the no draws.
That's cool. And I don't know, being 5-inch, you can kind of do those things, right, with the vehicle.
Exactly, because the prices kind of didn't get out of hand.
Yeah, exactly. So really cool here. But there's that Michonne. That's going to round up the wave for this Walking Dead revival, of the 5-inch line.
And really smart by Todd McFarlane coming in like with the heavy hitters, Rick, Daryl. And I feel like Rick, Daryl, Michonne are kind of like everybody's favorites. I mean, besides maybe you could have added like Glenn in there, but that's for the second wave. Somebody's got to carry the second wave.
Somebody's got to carry it.
Yeah.
It's not going to just be Carol.
Yeah, having those 3 heavy hitters and then having Merle, just like season 1 tier, like best characters from season 1, so.
Yeah.
Well, not Michonne, but.
Well, like best characters, most recognized characters. And if you got Daryl in there, throw in Merle. Get him in there. And no one's going to pick him up later.
Yeah. And looking at this, are they doing like a 4-pack or something?
So no, what they're doing,
you will though.
Super interesting. What I thought they were doing is that they were taking the backs, and that you could do like kind of a little
Black Series kind of thing.
Yeah, a little poster or something. No, what these guys are doing, look behind Michonne there.
You get a little poster.
It's a bookmark. They specifically said it's a bookmark that is reversible, that has the front and backs. if you get all 4, you can make a little bookmark poster.
That's cool. I think that's cool because if you think about it, these are $20 figures in this inflationary period, right? So these are on the cheaper end of collectibles.
Yes.
And just adding like a little incentive to kind of collect, because you're not going to be able to fit in a bath in these figures. You're not going to be able to fit into like other things like that. So just having like a little cheap paper thing that kind of just is an added bonus if somebody collects all the figures. It's just nice.
It's a nice little thing too, and like I think it just pays attention to the property. Like Walking Dead is a comic book. I have the first 6 volumes. I love those, reading those books, and it's nice that they went from kind of trying to bridge those fandoms, right? The comic book and the TV show, because McFarlane also did produce 5-inch comic book figures as well, right? Yeah, so I don't know, just a nice little bridge there that they're doing for this initial Walking Dead 5-inch revival line. All right, which one's your favorite out of the 4?
It's gotta be Michonne. Like I'm telling you right now, like I think a lot, like you said, a lot of this is reuse, and I'm sure they kind of updated some pieces, but it looks majority reuse. That Michonne figure was phenomenal.
All right, Michonne. For me, I'm going with my boy Daryl. I love Daryl.
And honestly, I think Daryl has the weakest likeness, though. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's good. Look, even Ricky Grimes is kind of looking better in this promotional image
with the light above him. Yeah,
he's looking a little
those
better.
Eyes there, and Merle looks nice and chubby. All right, well, yeah, that's good. That's gonna wrap up the Walking Dead 5-inch revival. We'll see what McFarlane does, man. They went deep with it previously. Let's see how deep they get.
Yeah, they did. And they can even now go like with the new material, right? Like the book of Daryl and the Daryl show now.
The Daryl show, and there's also Fear the Walking Dead. There's so many spin-offs, right? That the Walking Dead had. They could go anywhere. All right. Next up from Spawn, oh my God. From Todd McFarlane. He's doing another Kickstarter for the medieval Spawn action figure. So he's calling it a remaster of the original figure, and we'll get a look here at the original figure. There's the 1995 original medieval Spawn, and he's going to redo it as a 2024 remaster. 5-inch to the 7-inch scale, and man, this thing is insanely detailed. It's pretty impressive.
He absolutely crushed it. Like just having that kind of historical toy piece to it kind of elevates it to a new level. But even without that, just the paint, the detail, the sculpt, like it is actually ridiculous how much stuff's going on this. And like it's not like for no reason either. Like I feel like it all meshes well and it looks good.
And it is a Kickstarter. It should be going up this weekend. You should be getting it. If you're notified, you will get a notification. We don't know the prices on it as of this recording, but it should be coming out soon. And with it being a Kickstarter, there are different versions that you can back. The first version is going to be an artist proof edition. So you get different head sculpts, you get a sword, a shield, some type of comic book art. We don't know yet. It's to be determined in that artist proof grayscaling. So you can paint it however you want, That's the first version. The second version is the black version, where you get the Centurion head and the hamburger face head with a shield, the sword, and and like I believe the comic book will be black and white for this one, and this one will be color. I'm not 100% on that. I'm just assuming on that, but yeah. And then the final one is going to be the blue edition. So you get all those heads, same sort of things, just those different paint apps underneath there. Those are the 3 versions. You can also back for all 3 if you want.
I definitely go black, baby, black edition.
And if you do, there's also a third level here. So you could back a figure, and with that back figure, you can also get a signed little like nameplate by Todd McFarlane. And Todd did say he's gonna be doing these by hand, like he does, right?
Yeah. Well, he did this exact same thing with the original Kickstarter.
Correct.
The original McFarlane Spawn figure. He did the nameplates as well.
So really cool bringing that in. All hand signed by Todd. Really cool. Now, the one tier they do have, if they hit their funding goal, it's only one tier, is these bonus accessories. So it's not like an add-on. If it unlocks, everyone gets it. You get just the mace, battle axe, small axe, large sword, swords, maces, different pieces, different chest plates.
But you get all of this stuff?
Yeah.
Really? All of that's extras included as the first tier?
From what I reviewed on the Kickstarter, now it's not fully launched, so I don't have access to all the information that they're going to be given. But they said if we hit our goal, this will unlock. That's how.
Golly, my boy Todd McFarlane is the GOAT, dude. Holy crap! This guy puts everybody to shame. One tier, baby, you get all that extra. Holy crap!
It's impressive. And another little cool, interesting thing here is The armor chest pieces are magnetic. So he's just adding just, those little extra things to make it a lot easier to customize, to make it the way you wanted to stylize it. Here he is with the different head sculpts. I do love the hamburger head. Where he's all burned up, Al Johnson. But yeah, I mean, just a lot. We'll see how much the price is when it does fully go up. Love the different options you get, but just insane, amount of detail.
I think the last one was like, wasn't it like close to like $50 or $60, right?
Something like that. It was, yeah.
Yeah, it probably should be about the same. It probably end up being the same, especially because how successful that was. Like that price didn't deter anybody just because of the exclusivity of it. And the first one was beautiful, and this one also is very beautiful. Like these are almost like stepping into the realm, I think, of just like art pieces, really, like almost in the statuesque realm with how much stuff's details going on, paint work. Like they're beyond, I think, the $25-$30 figure.
Range. I agree. You're throwing in magnets. You're getting these beautiful paint apps. You get multiple heads, multiple weapons. The comic book, yeah,
because that magnet thing, I wouldn't say it's more for like, I don't think like, it could work for customizability, but it's more, I think, for like when you look at imports, they do that, right? It's like more for a higher quality of figure standpoint, because
it's
just like get firmer fitting. It's going to fit firmer, and also it's going to add weight to the figure, which when you have weight on a figure, it feels more expensive.
And we know that Todd loves heavy plastic, right? He loves putting as much plastic as he can in a box. Yeah, no, I think it's just also like magnets make it a little easier to pop and swap. Like you're not having to rip things out. You're not having to boil anything. You can just kind of pull it off, right? It's convenience, quality of life, you might call it. So yeah, we'll see what Todd has for us on this Kickstarter, man. I'm excited. We'll see what the price is, and we'll go from there, man. I don't have any doubts that this will not fund. This is a big company. Everyone loves Todd, and there's enough people who love Todd that then don't like Todd.
Plus, like beyond that, it's just like a good figure, and then that first tier is ridiculous just to have that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. All right. Well, see what happens there. All right, let's jump over to Black Series. Two little things from Black Series. So we're getting a K2SO. Now, I do like what they did here. You'll kind of see it on the packaging here. This is K2SO. They're calling it from the Andor series, season 2. I guess he shows up. They're going to, season 2 of Andor is like over a course of 4 years. So it's a lot of time jumps. So he's going to be with K2SO, right? Because it leads right up into Rogue One. But on the boxing here, on the packaging, you can see that they wrote K2SO. And I believe that is an homage or like a reference to Diego Luna and how he knew R2D2. Have you ever heard the story of him in R2D2?
Yeah.
Right? Like in Spanish, that is like little Arthur, right? Arturito is how he interpreted it when he heard that R2D2 was R2D2. And I think they're doing that same thing here with K2SO. It's like the Spanish interpretation of him. And maybe there's some lore to it that they add in season 2. But I kind of like that little reference there.
It could be because it's like little Arthur, because when you put like Ito, so it's Arthurito. Right.
Yeah, Arthurito.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah,
just like this figure, I mean, it makes sense because it's the new show, but it's whatever, right? Because nothing's being changed. It's just in the new box. What sucks with it is that, like, let's say if you already have this figure, but maybe you're trying to complete your mural, you're then going to have to be forced to buy this figure just for the mural. But beyond that, I mean, I guess you could use it as like a KX Enforcer droid from like Jedi Survivor. But yeah, I mean, this is a phenomenal figure. If you don't have it, I definitely.
It is good.
It's one of the best Black Series figures.
The joints on this are just really, really clean and super posable. You can move them any which way and fully, right?
To be honest, I have both the figure arts in the Black Series. And the Black Series, that is actually, in the rare case, it's actually better, even with factoring in price point. Like, even if this was $50 and the figure arts was $50, I'd still go with the Black Series over the figure arts.
Yeah, it is a good droid. All right, next up, a Darth Maul. What is this, like the 4th Darth Maul we've gotten this year?
The third
one, yeah. It's just kind of getting Darth Maul back out there in the Phantom Menace packaging as a single release.
Yeah, it's just being like weird. I don't know. It's like weird. It's dirty. Like even like kind of Yak Face was posting about it too. Like where they solicit the 3-pack, right? And that's the most expensive one. So all the collectors pre-order that one. Then they release the Hasbro Pulse exclusive with the Sith speeder bike. Then you're forced to buy that one. And now this one, and once again, like I'm talking about, like
A2SO, yeah, the mural.
the mural. And technically, they all have minor differences, right? The one in the 3-pack
Right.
has the soft goods with the hard plastic underneath, whereas the one in the speeder bike has soft
All
goods
soft
and
good.
soft goods underneath, and this one is
Mhm.
hard plastic with no soft goods at all. But it is a good update. Like that figure was part of the initial first wave of the Black Series in 2014. So 10 years later, they're finally updating it, and it's a necessary update. But yeah, it's just weird how many releases it's getting.
Yeah, it is interesting. What are those intentions? Are they nefarious? I don't know.
Oh, they are. I never give Hasbro the benefit of the doubt, dude. Never.
All right, but there's the Star Wars news there for you. Let's just jump over to Mezco. Something we talked about during their MezCon is the Blank. $112. It's already sold out. Join the wait list. It's a Dick Tracy character, right? So it's, those old cartoonies. Bang, pow. A little, I do like the aesthetic of this guy. It's freaky, without the face. It's kind of like Slender Man-ish.
Yeah.
But soft goods are looking great on this figure. You also get an unmasked head. I didn't know it was a mask.
And that's a great head sculpt. Like I think the paint apps came out really well in this.
I agree. It looks, and like I like how they did the hair. Like it looks wet. Looks like it's soft or oily or something. Sleazy. But yeah, the Blank here. He comes with different heads, a hat. Comes with different weapons, a bomb, some effects, a scarf, and that trench coat. So he has a full suited body, right? Full soft goods suit, and then the trench coat on top of that as well. So
yeah, which makes sense why, these Dick Tracy's are running like triple digits oftentimes. And it's because you think about it, right? There's so many soft goods on there. It's like he has the shirt underneath everything. Yeah. Oftentimes they do a vest. I'm not sure, I can't see clearly, but sometimes they'll do a vest. Then the blazer and then the trench coat. So it's like, it's a lot.
It's a lot. So.
And it's kind of funny because when you strip down a Mezco bare bones to account for all the soft good layers, the body is actually so skinny in comparison to the head and the neck, because the neck and the head are more in proportion with the body being covered in 3 layers of clothing. So it's kind of funny.
All right, looks like Mr. Burns when you take off his clothes, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's jump over to SH Figure Arts. We are getting Sunraku from the anime, what's it called? Shangri-La Frontier. Have you heard of that one? So I was reading up on it. It's kind of like Sword Art Online. It's about this kid who plays.
I love me some Sword Art Online. That's my favorite.
Okay, so it's about this kid who plays these trash games, and he's super good at them, and wants something more challenging. So he starts doing this god tier game, and it turns out it's a lot harder. But it's like a VR. So he goes into the world and has his avatar Sanraku, who's this bird. He wears a bird mask and stuff.
Gotcha.
So cool. It's just SH Figure Arts adding some more properties to their line, and getting more characters out there from different animes.
It looks well and good enough. I feel like the bare naked kind of body definitely lends for a lot of articulation. Like this is going to be hyper articulated. As you can see, you're getting massive butterflies. The only thing though I would worry about is, I think when it comes to imports versus a Marvel Legend or a Black Series, imports, and I don't know whether it be maybe they're using a higher quality of paint, or whether it's because it's a different plastic that the paint applies differently to it. But you do, from my experience, you get more paint rub on imports versus the cheap $25 figures, which is kind of ridiculous, right? It's kind of funny. It should be the other way around. So I worry with that really muted skin tone, and then the blue neck piece that's really big. And so I feel like when you're going to be rotating it, you're gonna kind of rub, I feel like. So I'd be careful with this, because I bet you're gonna get some blue rub on the body.
Definitely, yeah. They definitely use different plastics, and maybe the paint gets absorbed.
Something about it, but there's some paint rub.
Watch out. All right, let's take it around the net here. So we've kind of touched on this company. They've only done 3 things, but I've kind of confirmed it's Frazetta Girls. That's the company doing the line called Icon Collectibles. It is part of the Frank Frazetta, right? The old classic
paintings, art.
Yeah, just kind of fantasy art stuff. 1/12 scale. This one is the Norseman for $70. Here's the actual reference. The painting that Frank Frazetta did. which is beautiful. Like when you see this type of artwork, like he is very, very iconic. And I love that his toys are the icon collectibles. But he did the Fire and Ice, the wolf guy thing. And he did the Tigra as well. She's like the girl. But yeah, no, it's interesting. Like, I don't know. We recently just got done talking about Brutal Realm. We interviewed them. Check out that video, guys, up here if you want any more information on Brutal Realm. But it's just an interesting contrast from those figures, right? Where you get super articulated, good barbarians, come with, accessories and all the gauntlets and belts you want. Then you have this other type of character here, less articulation, but like I feel like the accessories are just a different enough. Like there's more paint apps on this one. There's more washes on this. You get soft goods. I don't know. What are your kind of thoughts on these? I mean, this one's 70, and if you wanted to get an O-gun from Brutal Realm on the Kickstarter, so it's going to be a lower retail price, of course, you're looking at 36, right? So I don't know. It's just interesting for me.
For me, the price is atrocious. And like, let alone, I feel like, so if you think about, maybe you could say, oh, it's because the licensing fees, but because it's like an art museum,
it's their own line. Yeah.
Well, I know I was going to say more so like you're not going to pay for licensing fees because you're allowed to use it. Like Savage Crucible was allowed to use the art piece because it's not like the dude's dead.
Well, no, that one actually is officially licensed.
That's what I'm saying though. Like they're officially licensed, but like the IP is not like one that's going to be demanding an insane amount. So like,
right, it's not like super popular. I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like at $70 for just like the quality of figure you're getting here, it's just not there. Single elbows, single knees. That's just in this day and age, you can't have that. Like, especially at that price point. Like, freaking Todd McFarlane's Walking Dead 5-inch line is going to be better than articulated in this figure. And like, looking at these, just go up even a little bit more. Get the Mezco Conan Barbarian. Holy crap, masterpiece with soft goods and better articulation. And then even if you want to go even to a cheaper price point, like you said, Brutal Realm, but I'll even like just get a Mythic Legion Barbarian. The Mythic Legion Barbarians have soft goods, have articulation. Like this, I don't know, unless you're a super fan of the Frazetta, but like,
I think that's what it is. I think that's what they're kind of banking on is it. And Frazetta fans are like Motu era kids, they are a little older. They do want that nostalgia. It feeds a little bit more, right? And there was also like the movies that he did with Frank Bashik, like Fire and Ice, or the original Lord of the Rings, where it's like people that are acting it out, but then they just paint.
He did the Fire and Ice. Fire and Ice is so good.
Yeah, like and he actually had his first two figures are from Fire and Ice, the Dark Wolf and Tigra, the main girl. But I think it is just more an attachment to the artwork, to the artist, I think is what it is. I think a lot of people grew up on his art, and to get a representation of that in 1/12, I think is why people like it. But I agree with you. Like there's better articulated figures out there.
Yeah. And the problem is too, is like the pieces I feel like are not unique. Like you could get Mythic Legion and get pretty close. I would say you can make a pretty close custom to this. Yeah. And even to like the wing attachments, like there's a Mythic Legion piece. Like if you look back in the catalog, you could get, I would say 85-90% to this.
And you wouldn't even have to buy the whole figure. You go onto the Mythic Legion's Cabal and just say, hey, does anyone have this piece? I'm willing to buy it. There's going to be someone to hook you up with it.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
So, $70 too high.
Unless you love Frank Frazetta, then here it is for you, right? All right. Well, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. That's all the news that we had this week. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Action Figure Podcast. Let's go ahead and think of our pick of the weeks. Josh, what are you thinking?
This week, there was not some standout, man. This week we had a weak week this week.
It was slower.
Not only that, but just like...
Yeah. Some weeks there's just nothing that's like, oh my god.
Well, no, it was like Darth Maul, like we've seen this 100
times. That's true.
It's like, yeah, it's just like, what the freak is this? I guess I'm gonna give it to, let's see. Wait. I'll give it to the Medieval Spawn. Yeah, the Medieval Spawn, it came out great. Like that thing is looking high-end statue-esque quality to me.
There's a lot of detail in that thing. Yeah, no, it is pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna give it to my girl, Huntress. I like the character. I like the soft goods that Todd does on those collectors. I hope that's a standard.
He's getting better.
Yeah. So we'll see what else he does. Go ahead and leave your comment down below, friends, of your pick of the week. We love hearing from you. And as always, friends, keep collecting, Keep playing. May the action figure gods smile upon you. Peace.